So today we are going to explore setting goals in the golden age. As you may have been following, Dr. Pillai has done a series of webinars and events on how we're moving into a new age, a new dynamic. And with that new age, a new dynamic is needed for how we live and what we do and what we're conceiving of in order to manifest our future. So we're right now in the middle of a very potent power time where the calendar year has begun, right? So we're in that new year energy where everyone is still excited about what they want to create. But now we're also inside of this month where the sun is in Capricorn, which in Vedic astrology means that the winter is over in a sense. The new dawning has begun. The gods are waking up. The sun is moving north. All of this energy that supports forward movement. Dr. Pillai calls that the spiritual new year, which happened when the sun moved into Capricorn, which was, I believe, January 13th or 14th. And then in a couple months from now, in April, mid-April, the sun will move into Aries, and that is considered the Vedic New Year. So between all of these New Year energies that are happening, this is the prime time for us to be focusing on what it is we want to manifest, what it is we want to create, what our 2024 will look like. And the ones who get to say what that looks like is us. And so I'm going to go through a few techniques as well as supportive energies that will support you in your journey this year to help it make it your best year yet. And we pray that it is. So the celestial energies that are shifting and creating this golden age, Dr. Pillai has been talking about. And so that is there to support us. What does that mean? There's yugas or periods of time that have energetic imprints, and we've been in the Kali Yuga, which is the age of darkness. And Dr. Pillai said we're towards the end of the Kali Yuga and shifting into the Sat Yuga, the age of truth, the age of light, the golden age. But that does take some time, right? We're not in it yet. There's a transition period. And that transition period means a lot's going to happen. A lot's going to happen in the world. A lot's going to happen within us, in our personal lives, spiritually, evolution-wise, all of that. So be prepared for this ride that we will be on as all of these energies converge. And as spiritual people, you are you're riding that wave, all right? You're in the trenches. And so, but we'll give you some techniques on how to best navigate those waters. So I'm going to share my screen and go through a few key points that I really want to help us to utilize. Where are we here? Okay. All right. First thing we're going to do is intentionally set our stage for success. And what does that mean? Oops, hold on one second. I'm going to stop sharing and restart. Here we go. Okay. And what does that mean? So we have, as I mentioned, the ability to harness the energy of this new year and what is kind of occurring at this time and space, and that we have the kind of great grace of being part of that. What you want to do is reflect and set intentions. What do you really want? What do you really want? And this is a loaded question because sometimes we think what other people want us to want, or we think it should be something we thought we wanted, something we wanted in a time or space before this, which is carrying thought imprints into this moment. But really, what is it that you're wanting to create right now, and becoming clear on that? This is so important, to become clear on what it is that you want in this moment. So just take a moment, maybe jot some things down, or let your mind kind of ruminate in this concept of, it's no longer about what used to be or what you thought you wanted in the future. It is now, what does it look like for you right now? And get as clear as you possibly can. Okay. Take a moment and do that. You can even share it in chat. That'd be super. Next, and there's two paths, right? There's going to be this logical path that I'll talk about, and then there is the non-logical path, and we'll get to that. So the logical path is creating a detailed plan of what it is you want to manifest. So, so as I was saying, being clear and specific of what you want to create. And now we're getting a little more into, so Dr. Pillai would leave, there's two, as I mentioned, there's two paths. And at some point, Dr. Pillai would leave it right there and just only hold what you want. That is one technique. Second technique, because he also has told us to be practical. So we have to be impractical and we have to be practical at the same time. So to be impractical is to just know what you want and hold it in your mind's eye, hold it in your midbrain, and that is all you really need. The second part of it is to be practical, and that is making that plan. So when you're creating your goal, you want to measure it. Like, by what time do I want to have this thing created or completed? And realistically, is it something that I can achieve? And when I say realistically, it just means what you can conceive of. Doesn't mean it has to be small. It doesn't mean it has to be large. There's no rules here. It's all about your perception, your conception. So realistic just means I think it's possible. Your heart thinks it's possible. Your heart knows what's possible. If you're saying, oh, I'm going to create $1 billion, but in your heart, you're like, not yet. I don't quite believe that that's possible for me. But if you could feel like I can create $100,000 in the next 3 months, and that feels realistic to you, that feels doable to you, it's more and better than what you have right now, but it's conceivable, that is where you want to aim. Okay? That is where you want to aim. So getting super clear and not just, so the clarity, and when I say realistic, it just means in your heart, what is realistic for you? What is conceivable for you? Okay. And then that's your goal. That's your goal. And then the next part, we start getting a little bit into that more rationalistic aspect where we're breaking it down into manageable steps. And we're saying, okay, well, if I want to create this $100,000, then I can do X, Y, and Z, and I want to do it within this time frame. And you create what is your plan and moving forward with that. Now, as I mentioned, there's 2 steps, right? So there's the very logical thing, which we just went through. Get really clear, know what you want, feel it in your heart, know that that is possible for you, 100%, right? And then start building a plan around it. Oh, this is how I think I'm going to do it, okay? But let's leave room for it to happen miraculously. And that is the golden age process, right? Go in both directions at once. There's no reason why you can't, right? You can beginning to be building this business or whatever it is you want to achieve, to create pathways for the divine to bring you whatever it is you want to manifest. Or, let's say it's a relationship, you need to take steps to meet somebody. Go ahead, do that, right? Like, entertain the rational mind. It's okay. But then leave it completely open for the divine to just be dropping things into your life miraculously, because you're open to that too. And again, you have to have faith and you have to be open to that pathway is possible. And that's the golden age process. That is where you're able to conceive and then know that it'll come to you. Okay. And one of the aspects is to have quantum thought. And Dr. Pillai has talked about this a lot. And what does it mean, really? It means that in a split second, an instant, you have a thought or a knowingness that something already exists. It already exists in another dimension. Maybe you just don't feel it right now. It's not in your current world, your current 3-dimensional reality, but it exists there. and you know it in your heart and you feel it through your whole body. And in that split second, it's there. And if you had something manifest, it could be because of this thing, this quantum thought that you had. And the irony, I suppose, is that it takes a split second for this to occur, this thought, this quantum thought. But to get to that place, you might need to have done some work in terms of feeling what's possible for you, knowing what you want to create and how this is brings you joy and love and passion, all those emotions that are the kind of cake batter of the creation process of your manifestation coming into fruition. Dr. Pillai said you have to have passion. So the split second happens, but before that split seconds, you had conception, you knew what you wanted, you had faith, you knew that it was possible, and then you had the absolute feeling through your whole senses that yes, it is happening, it is already happening. And then that split quantum thought occurs, and then the manifestation is pretty much done. and that's what you hold on to, and you're just like, oh, you're in that moment. And then from there, it just unfolds for it. It will unfold for you. And it doesn't have anything to do with that whole rational, practical aspect that we did with the making plans and the doing and the doing stuff. It'll occur. Not to say that you didn't, take some actions to be in certain places for the, God to give you what you needed or wanted, but that's the process. So, so back to my screen sharing. So engaging in quantum thinking. So we just went through that. The golden age creation process is in that split second that your manifestation occurs. Next is developing the miraculous mind. What does that mean? So the miraculous mind is, Dr. Pillai calls it somewhat of super thinking, right? So the miraculous mind is where we have the power to develop our mind in a way that brings extreme strength to our thoughts through our thought process. And he says that the power of thinking is everything. It means everything, and it does everything. There's a difference between meaning and doing. Meaning is just a concept. Meaning well and doing well are related, he said. So first we need to mean well. And then what? Think it very clearly. Even if you think unclearly, he says, it's okay. Down the road, you'll just be able to groom those thoughts. So if you're not super clear on what you want at the moment, you'll groom the thoughts as you go. And how will that happen? Through deep thinking, going into your emotions, and then you're done. When you emotionalize your thinking, you have completed the process. So you have to primarily think well. Think with the miraculous mind. Okay, so developing that miraculous mind, that's what that means. And then accelerating your manifestation with the sun's energy. I mentioned the sun had moved into Capricorn, and it's in a northern trajectory now in this Vedic astrology. So you have that sun's energy going for you. And then in April, when the sun moves into Aries, again, you have the sun's energy. The sun gives you soul intelligence. It activates your brain. It allows you to think an unlimited way. It brings you an immense amount of power and energy. It sources us with light. So we're utilizing that in this period of time simply because that's what the sun gives us. Another part that you can, so I just want to conclude there. So we talked about the rational part, the rational way of creating and manifesting. We talked about the non-rational, the kind of golden age process of the creation process. And it's not that hard, right? Like it sounds so simple, and I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it is what it is, right? You just have to know what you want, conceive of it. And if you don't know yet, think deeply of what it is, and just imagine just be playful like a child in terms of your creation process. Like just let your imagination go wild, and then have the emotions and feelings go through your body and your mind and your heart and your senses of that process of like, what do I want? What do I want my relationships to look like? What do I want my finances to look like? What do I want my material comforts, home and car and things like that to look like? And then just be inside that thought process, that imaginary world. That is what that is your creation process. Okay. And then when you get to that supercharged emotional state, that is where the quantum thought can come from. In addition to that, you can empower that with a mantra. So as you're emotionalizing and creating and fantasizing about what it is you want to manifest this year, accelerate it or empower it with a mantra. You can use the Arakara mantra. You can use Shrim Brzi. You can use the Ah meditation that Dr. Pillai gave to Wayne Dyer, where you take the sound from the root chakra all the way up to the third eye, where you're visualizing what it is you want to see and or visualizing what it is you want to create. So there's 3 mantras that I just gave you. So how does that process look? You're sitting, or you're driving, or whatever you're doing, and you're visualizing what it is you want to create, and you're getting really excited about it, and you're seeing all the details, and you're filling with joy and excitement. And then you bring in the mantra, Shrim Brzi, Shrim Brzi, Shrim Brzi, Shrim Brzi, Shrim Brzi, Shrim Brzi, as all this is happening. Okay. And that is the creation process, or Arakara, 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 Arakara. Okay. Or Ah, where you're visualizing and you're taking the Ah all the way from the base up to the midbrain. Ah, you're holding the thought in the midbrain. Ah, keep doing that. So those are 3 different techniques to use in the creation process. Also, tapping into Dr. Pillai. His birthday is coming up, and he is the vehicle for our transformation. A guru or a teacher has the power to transmit energy to us. And that is very unusual, right? Most, just regular old teachers like your, I shouldn't say regular old teachers, that's horrible. I should say traditional type of teaching, like professors, for example, or even many spiritual teachers don't have the ability to transmit an energy. They do give you intelligence, they give you information, and you process that. But a guru, a spiritual teacher at the level of Dr. Pillai, can actually transmit energy to us. Not only that, he can pray on our behalf. He can make a prayer and hold it in his quantum thought, his quantum mind, and transmit that to us in a way that then impacts and changes our life and changes our consciousness. This is incredible, right? So we're so blessed to have a teacher who has that ability. And what do we want to do? We want to access that, right? We want to let him give that to us. And to do that, you connect with him. You speak to him, you light candles, show it to his picture. You develop an inner relationship with him. And some of the most powerful times to connect with him, to build that relationship, one of them is his birthday, and it's coming up on February 1st. So he actually has 2 birthdays. The birthday, which is February 1st, and then the birth star birthday, which is going to be February 11th this year. That's when his birth star is in the month of which he was born. So we have 2 special dates to connect with him inwardly. And most gurus or teachers, they go inward, or they're quiet on times of their own personal power times, like their birthday, because they're doing some inner work. But Dr. Pillai is unique in that he makes himself available on his birthday. He is there to transmit energy and blessings, and for us to receive his grace. And if you have the karma and grace to be in his presence, virtually, then this is astounding. This is really, it's impressive from a soul evolution standpoint. So Dr. Pillai will be making himself available on February 1st to give a teaching to us. So if you're interested in being with him, I recommend that you join that program. It's available in the link below. He'll be giving the initiation on his birthday. But not only that, he's actually continuing these teachings because he really wants people to commit through this period of time that I talked about, from January through April. He wants us to use this time because it is the most powerful time to be inside of the manifestation process. This newness, the support of the sun's energy. This time is now. The time is now. The time is now. And so he'll be doing a 90-day program that begins on his birthday, February 1st. So I encourage you, if that's in your budget and your resources, to join that, because then you'll have access to 3 different teachings from him, 3 initiations on his birthday. So February, March, and then on April, I think it's 13th. Yeah, 13th, when the sun moves into Aries, he'll be giving an initiation on that very day so that we can take that with us through the whole entire rest of that month. So really it'll be a little bit more than a 90-day program, but because we wanted to make sure that he wanted to make sure you received that initiation on the day when the sun moved into Aries. So that's a bit about the program. I'll tell you, there's a link below, but I can also tell you a little bit about the program itself. So if you're interested in joining that, it's the Science and Miracles of Manifestation. We just talked about the science and miracles, right? We talked about the science, kind of like the how-to, but also the miracles of the manifestation process. And he'll be giving us new techniques, which is also very exciting. So creating with the quantum mind, I talked about having a quantum thought. And now Dr. Pillai will give us a technique on that day, a teaching and a technique to help us activate that quantum reality, to be able to have that one particular thought that is able to manifest itself into our 3D world. The Miraculous Mind, I talked a little bit about that, and super thinking and thinking deeply. He'll give us an initiation for that in March. So all of February, we'll really be focusing on the quantum mind and the creation process. And then next is the Miraculous Mind. And then on April 13th, the sun's movement is what Dr. Pillai calls the astrological new year, or the real new year. And that is when the sun has the most impact. For those 30 days, that is going to be an incredibly potent time for us to be using the sun's power and to use it to manifest. So in addition to 3 sessions with Dr. Pillai, there'll be an additional 4 mastery workshops with master students that Dr. Pillai is handpicking and giving the teachings that he wants them to deliver. So all of his most advanced teachers will be teaching these sessions. And then if you would like to add birthday remedies, so done for you rituals, remedies in India, this helps to establish the grace light energy that Dr. Pillai is ushering into the world right now through rituals. So fire labs, pujas, chanting, hydration ceremonies, food feeding, mantra writing, all of that will be done on your behalf to help accelerate this process. We need all the help that we can get. I think we can all agree. And in order to do that, we have these rituals that work at the soul level to help us manifest even more. So there's 3 different packages that you can choose from. The fundamental level is the single session with Dr. Pillai on his birthday. The premier level is all 3 of the sessions with Dr. Pillai plus the mastery workshops. And that's this enrollment plan. What else? Oh yeah, all 3 plus the 4 mastery. And then the all-inclusive is the 4 mastery program workshops, the 3 sessions with Dr. Pillai, and the advanced remedies here. And they're quite extensive, this remedy package. And that's all. So if you have any questions, please post them now in chat and I will get to them. And let me see if I have any just yet. How to monitor progress, any metrics specifically, subjectively, please. How to monitor your progress. Yeah, there's a couple ways you can do that. And Dr. Pillai encourages us to do that, because otherwise, what are we doing, right? Like if we aren't monitoring how we're doing, we're not tracking our progress, and then we can't see what is happening in, that to acknowledge the steps that we're taking or not. And so, for example, you want to check in with, how are you feeling? It's a simple one, but how are you feeling? Do you feel better? Do you look better? Is your bank account going up or down? Are your relationships improving or declining? Is your environment better or worse? And these are subjective, like better or worse. It doesn't mean you live in, it's up to, it's you, it's your environment. Did your environment get better or worse according to your standards, what you want to create? Do your relationships get better or worse according to your standards and what you want to create? So monitoring, and then an easy way to do that is to write down the 4 different areas of life: spirituality, material or finance, relationships, and health. Those are 4 primary areas of life. And if you have a journal or a notebook or something like that, write those down and then assess where they're at right now. Even just rating at a level of like 1 to 10 of how you feel like this is working out for you or where you want to be. And then in 2 weeks from now, or a week from now, or a month from now, again, do your assessment. Okay, where am I at with these areas? Or you can get very specific on a particular goal. Like, I'm trying to manifest X, whatever. And then did I get further in this achievement, or did I not? And why is that? Did I not do my practice? Am I not visualizing and feeling and believing that I can have this every single day, multiple times a day? Did I not take those action steps to help put that into practice, to put that into play? Where did you, divert from your initial goal, your initial commitment? So a really good question. Definitely want to do self-assessment. Brian said, it's already happening. It's happening right now. Absolutely. It's happening now. It's already happened. It's already happened. It's happening right now. Just now. Like, it already exists. What you want already exists on some dimension. What you have to do is tap into that, love it so much that it manifests here in this reality for you. And then believe it 100%. And even though that sounds so simple, we get so caught up in our logical mind and, rationality and doubts and fears and lack of worthiness and all of that junk that pollutes our consciousness, that gets in the way, that is absolutely unneeded. That's why rituals and mantras are so important, to be able to clear more of that away faster. Okay. What else? Any other questions? Babaji can change our lives and our consciousness. Yes, he can. Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate your gratitude there. All right, if there aren't any other questions, then I will go ahead and conclude today's session. Hopefully you have what you need. It is a simple but potent teaching. And what's exciting is that Dr. Pillai is going to continue to teach us and work with us for the next 3 months, starting in just a few days on February 1st. So if you're able to join that program, I encourage you to do so. We'll have a wonderful way to kind of get together as a community and keep ourselves in check, with his monthly sessions, as well as the additional teachings with his students, his teachers. And let's manifest a new reality in 2024. If you have any questions, concerns, reach out to us, office@pillaicenter.com. We're always here to assist you. Please make sure you hit the subscribe if you're not already subscribed to this channel, as well as Pillai Center YouTube and Shrimberzi YouTube, and like this video to help get it to more folks, and it helps us in our algorithm. We really do appreciate it. Make sure you're following us on all social media, and keep in touch with Dr. Pillai's latest and greatest empowerments and teachings. And let's see if there's any other questions. How's Arakara different from Shrimberzi? Just 2 different types of mantras. Every mantra has a different set of energies, which supports different qualities. Okay. And I'm not going to break down the different sounds of the mantras. Dr. Pillai has done that before, but Shri, E, br, z, e, all have different energies behind them. And when you put them together, they have a creative force that removes scarcity and gives you prosperity. So Shreem Brzee, removing scarcity, giving you prosperity. Arakara has a different set of energy. Their energies is the initiating creation, the initiation of creation. And they're very similar in that they're both creative, that you can use them for the creative process. You can use them for manifestation. In part, it comes down to what you resonate with most, which ones you really love or enjoy to work with. Arakara is known as the impossibility buster mantra. It was given to Dr. Pillai many, many, many years ago. He's done videos and audios on it. And in fact, we have a course called Manifesting Miracles, which is about Arakara. And so the different, sorry, thinking. So the impossibility buster, using the Arakara, the sounds for creation, the sounds for fire, infusing passion, that is a creative process. And then this sounds for removing scarcity and creating prosperity, invoking Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, also a creative mantra. So really, they're two different mantras having two different sets of qualities, but very similar in their end result, in the desire to manifest. So you can use either one of them. One distinction is that Arakara is general. You could use it to manifest anything. Where Shreem Brzee, you can use it to manifest anything, but it's very specific in the area of wealth building, joy, prosperity, abundance. Okay, so it really depends on what you're looking for. Try them both. See how you feel when you chant them. See which one excites you more, gets you more aligned, brings you a higher state of consciousness, and then continue to use it, or even use both at different times of the day and see how it works for you. Good question. And yeah, you can definitely be using either one. Is there a link that has these mantras listed along with what you do? Is there a link? There's several different ones. We didn't have them all ready for you, but we'll put them below this video after the fact. We just give us a minute because this is just something I added in impromptu to the program. And so, but definitely feel free to search on these meditations, and you'll find Pillai Center links on your own. But we'll post them below too after this video ends its stream. And thank you, Yasmin is already on it. She's posting the SoundCloud links to the mantras themselves. Yeah, the Aum meditation is great. The course Manifesting Miracles, I believe, has the Aum meditation and Arakara in it, and it's a very inexpensive. I think it's like $37. If we have that link, you can, or we don't have it right now, but I can put it below the video later. Okay, super. All right. Well, thanks everyone. Thank you for being here. Looking forward to helping. I'm looking forward to being in Dr. Pillai's light as he shines his energy through the next 90 days plus in our manifestation creation process. And I hope that I see you on February 1st. Have a wonderful day, week, month. Namaste.